that. And there's always something. I feel like as soon as we start one of these things, just to make sure that we have all of the technology in place and everything like that. But if we're good, then we're good. I'm sporting a new Fit Revival sweatshirt tonight. So it came in the mail today. I'm pretty proud of that. But good. Well, I'm so glad that everybody's joining us. Thank you, guests, for hanging out with us. I know we've got some coaches in this group and we've got some guests in this group. And so we are so excited about the week that we have planned. We are doing things a little bit different this time. And so we're going to share some about that. And so tonight's going to look a little bit different because you're going to be learning actually throughout the week. So I feel like this is going to be a better way just to share what we do, why we do it, and help you get a good understanding of what it looks like to be a coach and to be a coach on this team. If you don't know, my name is Amber Bailey, and I am the leader of Team Fit Revival. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get into my story. Renee's going to share her story, and then we both got some things that we want to cover tonight. So good. I'm going to shut my phone off because it's echoing. So most of y'all know I'm actually coming up on my 7th year of coaching. So it'll be 7 years. I think it's like March 1st or March 2nd. And so this is always kind of a full circle time for me every year when this anniversary comes around, because I get to think about and reflect on all that the Lord has done over the last year, and then more specifically, just over the last 7 years. So, I started this journey not to have a business or do anything like that. I really just started this because I was in a bad place. I knew that I needed to be doing something different because I wasn't taking care of myself. So I had actually gone to the doctor one day. This was my big get a grip moment that I always share, but it was just a well check. But he looked at me and he said, Amber, why are you not eating? And I was like, oh gosh, like, hello. I knew I wasn't taking care of myself, and I knew that there was this tension in my heart of wanting to live out my God-given potential, but then also not knowing how. And so in that moment, I was like, okay, something has to change, Amber. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it looks like. So I came home and put both boys down for a nap. By some miracle, they were both napping at the same time, but I was just praying and spending some time with the Lord. And I really felt like he was saying, Amber, if you will take care of yourself, I will take care of the rest. And so I had no idea what his plans were, no clue. But what I did know was that I needed to take a step, and I needed to take a step forward. I knew I needed to do something different. So I reached out to a friend up the street. I had actually, in previous years had been a gym rat, and so loved going to the gym, but that part of me was missing. So it had been missing actually for a long time. I had that gym membership. Once the boys were born, then it was just kind of like, wasn't getting used at all. So I decided that I would take her up on her offer. I knew she worked out at home. And so I was like, I'm just going to check that out and see what that's about. I was so skeptical. But turns out, hello, I'm 7 years later, still going strong here, that I loved it. And I loved the fact that, 6 to 8 weeks in, I was like, okay, I am starting to feel more like myself. And the real Amber started to stand up and show up, and people were starting to notice.
I think she froze. Or am I getting a delay? Uh-oh. We're glad to have you here this evening. Can you hear me okay? Can't see the comments. So if you want to comment below, I'm going to wait and see. Amber gets back on. But we're so glad to have you this evening and joining us. Ah, there's Amber. Oh, you're muted. No, I think you're still muted, Amber. Technology.
Okay. I'm sorry. So it's been a day like this. I'm going to be honest. Like, this is the fourth time today that the internet has just like kicked me out of whatever it is that I'm doing. I've had calls with coaches today, and we've done some training today. And anyways, so it's all good. You just keep going, keep doing the next thing. So I think I was at this place where I was talking about my story and just sharing with y'all how I got started and how this looked for me, and that it was more about that I needed to be taking care of myself. And that I wasn't really, in fact, I told my coach, I said, I do not want to have anything to do with a business. So don't talk to me about that. So you may be thinking the same thing, and that's okay. But we're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're exploring this with us, because if you're here in this group, if someone's invited you here, if you found your way here, there's no accident that you're here. Maybe somebody saw something in you. Maybe you saw something in what we do here as a team, and you wanted to be part of that. And so anyways, as time went on, I ended up having to go back to teaching. That's my background. So we have two boys. I've been married to Jim for, let's see, 15 years in August. And so all of that being said, things were very chaotic at that time. Things were in upheaval in a lot of different ways between finances and just relationship and marriage and family, and everything was just messy. And so we were looking at me going back to teaching, and I had started this journey, and I was starting to be inspired, about what I could do with that and what that would look like, paying it forward to other women. And but then I stepped into this new job, this new position. And so things took a backseat for a little bit, but then I realized as the year went on that I either was going to have to do something different or just be happy with the way things were. And so it was the fall, I think, of 2011. So October, November of that year, I just decided to dig my heels in and go for it. And so I ran my first challenge group during that season. I don't remember which month it was there, but I ran my first group, and I think there were like 3 people in it, but it was awesome. So most of us were doing Turbo Fire. I don't know if we have any old like Turbo Fire junkie people in here. It's an awesome program if you haven't tried it. But anyways, we started doing that, and I started leading these groups, and month by month they started to grow, and my business started to grow, and my team started to grow as I worked on that in the time that I had outside of teaching and the responsibilities that I had at home. And so by the following summer, wasn't making a full-time income, but it was substantial enough to where I was able to step away and just pursue this full-time. And so from there, since that point, I've pretty much been a full-time coach and doing this as my thing. In that time, we've paid off a lot of debt. We've, bought a new home. Kids go to a school of our choice. We go to a private Christian school in town that we absolutely love. Like, that's where, if we could pick anywhere for them to go, that's where they would go. So there's been a lot of restoration and redemption in a lot of different areas, whether it's in relationships or finances. And then just for me personally, I am a totally different person than I was, when this started versus now. So I wanted to live out my God-given potential. I didn't know how. And then here we are 7 years later, and I'm going, this is what that looks like. And I obviously am still on that path, and it's a journey that doesn't stop. But getting to walk with other women in that way, showing them how to live out their God-given potential while creating an income and a business for their family, that also provides a lot of freedom. So that's it in a nutshell. I could go into more, but I want to let Renee share her story. So she's been a coach on our team for quite a while now, and she's got an amazing team with Team SOAR United, and I'm just going to let you go for it.
All right. Well, welcome and thank you so much for, joining us in here and taking time out of your night just to hear us share our stories and welcome you into the next 5 days, because I know it's going to be filled with lots of awesome tools, information, and you'll just come away feeling fulfilled and knowing if this is something you want to pursue. And I know Amber is going to speak more about that. But like she said, yes, my name is Renee, and I am a born and raised Georgia girl. I lived in Florida for a little bit, but I have really just always resided in Georgia. So I'm in the South, and I am married for 8 years. I have 2 children. I have a 7-year-old daughter, Kayla, and a 5-year-old son, Liam. And I have been a coach. It'll be 5 years at the end of July. So yes, I've been around a little while, and my first program was actually Turbo Fire. So I was a Turbo Fire junkie, and that was where I received the bulk of my transformation, was through that program. But what I want to start by sharing is what led me up to this and how I became a coach and where I was before this whole coaching thing came into my life. And I definitely don't believe that it was any accident that it came into my life. I believe that at the time, I didn't even know what a coach was. I didn't know any coaches. But there was a lot out there. I was in a very dark place, and I really felt like I had tunnel vision in my life at that time. When I think back, I was just really going through the flow with life. I was putting on a crazy amount of weight after my kids. At that time, they were 2 under 2. And, my story is a lot different than Amber's in the sense that I had gained a lot of weight. I was emotionally eating. I was depressed. I was out of control in every sense. And my husband was still in school trying to finish up, but we had made the decision that I would stay home with the kids. And it was not probably the wisest decision because it put our finances in jeopardy to the point where, it was thousands and thousands of dollars, and we ended up having to file bankruptcy. And that was the hardest time in my life for our marriage. It was basically non-existent. I would just eat and feel tired, depressed, overwhelmed, exhausted. I had lost all passion in my life at that time. And I was a mess, and I was desperate for a change of some sort to come into my life. I was desperate for something, and I was going from quick fix to quick fix, like Slim Fast. I tried keto, I tried juicing, I tried coffee and starve myself diet. I tried the 3-day diet, if you've heard of that, and like just all types of diets. And I went to the gym, and I would think, okay, before the gym, I can stop and get a large Frappuccino at McDonald's. That's no big deal. And I'll just go work it off doing Zumba. And so my nutrition was not great at all. Like, it was bad. And then I went to the doctor and got my blood work done. And they told me I was pre-diabetic and I had high cholesterol. And I was 60 pounds heavier than I am now. And that, I really believe, was that point in my life where I felt like something has to change, because I want to live to see my grandkids one day. If I can control that, I want to be a fun mom. I want to be able to play with my kids. And this is not the mom that I want to be for them. And I want to be present in their lives. So I was just looking for something to help me get out of that. But I was also very, very skeptical and very just in a dark place, to where I didn't really believe in any answers to fix this. I felt like I was just lost, and I don't know how this happened, and this became my life. And when I met a fellow mommy friend at Jamboree, and she posted something on social media just about a challenge group starting up. And I saw that, and I messaged her just to inquire, and she gave me the information. And of course, I was at that dark place. So I was like, forget that. No. And I don't have any money. You can afford that, but I can't. I was very not nice, really inside at that point, because I just felt like my life just was so awful, and I was so depressed that I couldn't see good for other people. It was just a very bad time in my life. And so anyways, I just didn't think I could afford that, and all of that. But then I realized that I had no control. I was hiding food. I was eating ice cream sandwiches on the way home from the grocery store, and then hiding them and not sharing, and it was out of control. So I actually like found the money, any way I could. And I got the Turbo Fire Challenge pack, and I joined a challenge group, and it changed my life. And I didn't realize that it would change my life in the way it did, because it wasn't just the physical. It was really, I was transformed from the inside out. I started having other women in a community that were empowering me and loving on me in a way that I was not doing for myself, or let alone anybody else in my life. I didn't have that support in my life that I needed. And through this opportunity, it has restored my marriage with my husband. It has, and this gives me like goosebumps, and just thinking back to who I was before this came into my life, and knowing where I am now, I wouldn't have believed it. And it's totally God all the way. I could not have done this, and it was no accident that this came into my life. But so I feel definitely alive again. I have found myself again. I am more confident than I've ever been. And Amber will tell you, when I first started this, I was like, I'm not a leader. I can't do this coaching thing. And I just really want the discount. But then I thought, if I can make someone feel good the way I do, and if I can just help somebody, find the solution and have hope and learn to love themselves again like I do, then I have won. And I have done, and that was what I wanted. I wanted something significant in my life. I didn't just want the success for me, I wanted it for others. And so I shared it with low confidence at that time. And then I grew, and through this growth journey, I have grown stronger and stronger in who I am and what I'm called to do and my purpose. And it has made it where it's been a movement, a big kingdom size movement. Thankfully, Amber went first and started this, and it's trickled down and has been just amazing. The women in my lives, they are my best friends, my sisters, and I don't know where I would be without this community, because it has truly transformed my life in every way, with flexibility, the freedom. I don't have to go back to work now. I get to stay home with my kids and not stress about paying the bills. My husband doesn't have that stress on him any longer, that it's all up to him. And that has been so rewarding to know that I can help other women and empower them in a great way to do what I'm doing and change their lives and get healthy, and or financially, whatever their goal is, I can meet them there and help them in that way. But at the same time, I'm impacting my family in a positive way. So that has been it's just been something that I would have never ever seen for myself. This is something that I just have to have. I had faith and I just trusted, and I put one foot in front of the other, and here I am on this call, public speaking with Amber. So, but we are so glad that you are here. And that is my story. I could probably go on a lot longer because it's been 5 years and lots of stuff there, but I'm going to save that. And I just want to thank you guys for joining and welcome you, because this opportunity has changed, I know, both of our lives and so many others. And it can do the same for you if you feel called to take this opportunity on.
For sure. Thank you so much, Renee. And it is true. I have watched her grow, from saying, I'm not a leader. And now, y'all, she is crushing it. I watch her and her team and that tribe of women that she has assembled together, and it's powerful. And so we have a saying on this team, and she started to say it, but it is, when you change a mom or when you change a woman, you change a family. So you're not just helping. Like for me, it changed how I interact with my family. It changed Renee. It changed how she interacted with her family, right? But it doesn't stop there. And that is why you are on this call. So when you change a mom, you change a family. But when you teach a mom how to teach a mom, or when you teach a mom how to help a mom, then you have a God-sized movement on your hands, right? And so that's the thing. And that's what we see in all of you is the opportunity to teach you how to do what we do as coaches. And that's what you're going to be learning about this week. We want to make sure that you understand how this team got started. Literally was, I said, okay, I'm gonna do this for me. And then, like she said, the trickle effect of that. So you never know where that will go or the effect that will have. Renee took one step, and then now she's got this beautiful team of women who do this alongside of her, that she gets to mentor along. And so all of that to say, we're going to cover some things this week, and I've got the notes on my phone because I want to just give you a snapshot of what we're going to be sharing. And then that's going to be it for tonight, because we want you to look forward to what's going to be happening over the next 4 or 5 days. And we want to give you the opportunity to listen and to take it in, to ask questions, and make sure that you feel good about what it is that you're doing as far as your next step is concerned. So tomorrow at noon, it'll be episode 1. See, we have it named here for you. What coaches do, living out your God-given potential and helping others do the same thing. And so we have Monique, and she's going to be on tomorrow at noon talking about that. If you can't catch it at noon, it's okay. It'll stay up in the group. You'll be able to watch it when you can, when your schedule allows. Saturday, we're actually going to have a live workout. So I don't know if any of y'all have Beachbody On Demand. I know some of you may have come from a challenge group, and maybe some of you have not had that experience yet. But we are going to work out together Saturday morning. We've started doing this little bit by little bit. And so we're going to bring you into that on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. So if you'd like to work out with us and you have Beachbody On Demand, then we want you to join us. It'll just happen live right here in this group. And then we will pray, and then we will get off and go through the rest of our weekend. But that day, we really want to talk to you about relationships and how to build relationships and what that looks like as far as building a business is concerned. And then Sunday, my voice cracked there. Sunday night at 8 p.m. is the episode 3, and we're going to be talking about branding. This is something this is my jam. I love branding. And so I like talking to women and helping women figure out what that looks like for them, like finding your voice and who it is that you want to reach or attract, and what that looks like as far as crafting a message and showing up on social media in the most genuine way possible. So that's Sunday night. Monday at noon, we're going to talk about why is Team Beachbody and Team Fit Revival, like why, or Team Soar United, there's several teams that are all represented here. So why is this team and Beachbody the best toolbox for you to monetize your goals and your dreams and your vision for your future? So I'm going to be talking about that. So we'll talk a little bit about income there and how that works. And then Tuesday, we will close out. And anything that we haven't covered, we'll cover on that day. But we're going to talk about something else that coaches do, and that's that they go first. And we'll cover how you can jump on board and some things that we've got planned for our new coaches in March. So that's just a snapshot of what we've got. But we're looking forward to hanging out with y'all this week. And we really want this group to be something that is powerful for you. And I'm going to let Renee, before I start getting into what she's going to talk about, because I'm like right there on it. But it's just a blessing to share with y'all tonight. And I'm just glad that y'all are here hanging out with us and checking this out. So Renee, you want to close this out?
Yes. So we, again, just want to thank you for tuning in this evening. And as you can see, there's a lot of exciting things in store for the next 4 to 5 days. And we're going to have a lot of fun together and grow and learn together. So that is so exciting. And you're going to get to hear from so many other people and all different walks of life. And it's going to be fun. And I just want to say too that if you have questions or anything at all, please ask. Please don't hesitate. This group is for you to plug into and to ask us, so you can see if this is a good fit for you. We understand that this may not be for everyone, and it's okay. It's okay. We're not here to convince you of that. We're just here to share with you. And we really want to share, not just you know, I'm going to get it backwards, why we do this business, but what we do in this business and what that looks like. So that is one thing that I'm really excited about, that we have never shared really fully in this way before. But I love that because we'll get to actually share what it looks like to grow this business. And that is so exciting. So you'll get to come away learning how it looks to work from home or from your kitchen table or wherever it may be, and grow a business and empower other women to do the same. So thank you so much for tuning in this evening. And that is it from us, but we look forward to seeing you more in the group.
Yay, thank you. We'll see y'all tomorrow. So looking forward to it.
All right, have a good night.